couldn't pan over there at will. We had to look at what the streamers were looking at. So.
Oh, somebody's tooting the horn.
All right. We are back on Islands of Ice.
It's interesting
I'll go ahead
seeing
and just transition over here.
Interesting seeing the double Des Moines on TWA side. I mean, that's going to be huge for zone control.
That is interesting.
For anti-air.
Does anybody else hear this horn?
No. What stream are you watching on?
I'm on Flamu's side on TWA. There is literally a horn that is going non-stop right now.
Sounds like a bug then, because it can't go non-stop. Eventually it has to quit. Well, no, what I'm doing is I'm piping Isolate stream through OBS, and then I'm watching it in a web browser window, so I don't have to watch it in that little tiny OBS window.
Yeah, they're all like just popping the horn. It's awesome.
Actually, it occurs to me I can turn off studio mode and watch it straight on OBS. Why don't I do that?
This is the sound of my people.
As we watch the carriers commit ritual seppuku here.
So yeah, this lineup the TWA is bringing, this definitely is a map-specific, side-specific comp that they're bringing. Obviously,
Clearly.
Gearing, Grozavoy, double Hindenburg, double Des Moines, and double Montana for this one.
It's interesting. I think Flamu's Ryujo captain has emergency takeoff just so he can land the dive bombers.
Wouldn't be a bad play, actually. All right, Isolate getting the camera set up here on the NA side as ZR is going heavy BC. Not a single ship on the ZR team going A.
And TWA is going A and C. They're making a big split here, and interesting to see how they can pull this off.
You know what,
got
guys?
Des Moines on either side.
I'm pretty comfortable with this. Let me try and do some swapping this game.
You know, I gotta admit, guys, I've never seen somebody completely neglect to flank and it works out for them in the comp setting.
Yeah.
There's got to be at least one ship to tie up resources, at least one person to, at the very least, put a hand up in the air and say, "Hello, I'm here, I exist. You need to watch out for me." I'm not 100% sure. Obviously, ZR might audible and try to send something up today, but if that stays, that's interesting. It's very odd to me.
Yeah.
So
well,
the thing is, if you're doing something like that, you have to win the flank that you're pushing. So that ZR has to win C. They can't afford to screw around there.
Mm-hmm. It has to turn into what would it be? Clockwise. They have to turn that flank clockwise enough to make it a north-south fight.
Exactly.
yeah. If they can turn this into a north-south fight, that works for them. But if they're unable to, it's going to be tough. SAT score trying to duck his stern into B now to slow and stop the TWA cap there. GRE score well into C. Well, I would say well into. Working into C down there on, looks like he's at about I6. Little island at his back.
Yep. I don't know if you caught it. The Grozavoy for TWA took a pretty big chunk, about 7,500 hit points. So he's at 13.5 right now.
Okay.
And he's being
he
forced
is
to
moving
get out of
off
B.
Yep.
Realizing that it's not worth dying over a cap.
Yoshi's Hindenburg also took a pretty big chunk as well.
All right, for those of you on my stream, I've just swapped over. You're looking at Flamu's feed now. What I have problem is I have it muted. I better fix that.
Good job by the Grozavoy going in and knowing that torps were coming, he got out of the smoke just in time. Those torps went nowhere. Meanwhile, his torps are heading towards the gearing. So be curious to see if the gearing sits... Oh, gearing took a hit. He's at half.
He did. I'm gonna
SAT score is at half.
Swap back to SAT score on the other side of that cap. Torpedoes coming into that smoke. We know they're there. SAT has not spotted them yet. There's a fighter up there that might spot them.
If they do get spotted, it's going to be last second here.
SAT scores just how spotted them. He's clear. He'll be able to to stop, and oh, they just ran out of
No.
space.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so
All
both
skill,
teams
no
picking up a
luck.
cap. ZR picking up B as TWA bags A, which means that GRE down in C at the bottom of the map is contested by somebody. Must be the other gearing.
He's sitting at I-5, right at the corner of that island that's at the very western, west-southwest section of the map. Sitting there right in front of his buddy in the Des Moines, I believe. Yep.
Okay. Now, if you'll notice, ZR has turned a couple of ships around to look north again. Look back on the 8 line there.
Yes, they have. One of the Hindenburgs, Yasenpoi. One thing to note, though, TWA does have anywhere from a 9 to a 12-point lead here because the one cap's being contested and then they each own one of them. So it's still, the ball is still in their court to do something.
Yep.
If this transpires for the next few minutes.
That Des Moines in A might be in kind of a sticky spot. He's got a Yamato. Is that a Yamato or the Conqueror? It's the Conqueror in a Hindenburg staring him down. He's looking for cover. If they can spot him again, they can both put some pressure on him. He's kind of got nowhere to go. All he can do is really reverse or head into B, and heading into B is a death sentence.
Yep. We got a little death snail going on action here at C with Gearing smoking up Des Moines. Very smart. Makes sense. But ZR is shooting into the smoke, getting some hits as the smoke wears off.
Slaughter's Gearing gets chunked for about a quarter.
Swapping views here. Looking over TWA's shoulder, we can see some of that. GRE spotted now. Des Moines radar must be up.
No, he's out of range.
I don't know, they just lost GRE again.
That was air spotting, so I'm sure that...
Oh, was it air? Okay. Air
yeah,
spotting.
I'm pretty sure his carrier's going to send that fighter back over. He was about 10.5 away from Des Moines.
Hindenburg, Des Moines, and Grozovoy at C, which is... at A, which is interesting. Grozovoy looks like he's going to come into the cap from the north. He's got a Des Moines backing him up. That could end badly. For
I do like that play, though.
Zeta. Oh, I like it too.
Yeah, changing the angle, trying to come in from the north now. Are you on Isolates? Can you see his last reported position?
I'll switch over. Hold on.
The Des Moines last?
No, the Grozovoy for TWA. His
last known is at B.
At B?
It's at B. They haven't seen him since then.
Yeah, they haven't seen. They don't know where that Grozovoy is. They're about to see. They're about to know when he ducks into B, but he's not there right now. And he's about to enter the cap just as we speak.
Yeah, but the thing is, they're not going to know where he's entering from. They're going to possibly assume it's the same spot.
Oh,
Rudder front is
sniping cat.
Well,
Rudder front is.
They know he's in the cap now.
Staying where he's at, trying to deny the push around, and that's important because if they get pushed around, then they're ZR is enveloped.
Well, ZR is making this much more competitive than Game 1. I'd actually say that they have the hit point advantage at the moment.
They do have a small one, I'd say, certainly on some of their key ships. But that loss of the B cap, which it looks like SAT score, he was turning that way. He must be radared or spotted. He's turning out now.
He's turning out, yep.
Yeah, they're going to make sure that, lots of shells coming in. They're going to make sure that they bag that B cap and keep the pressure up. Well, with TWA bagging B, that means that ZR is not gaining any points right now. TWA on about a 50-point lead and starting to open it up.
And that's one of the easiest ways to apply pressure in the comp play, making it so that the enemy team is not getting anything out of caps.
And one thing to keep in mind, too, is ZR's destroyers are both low.
Quite low.
With SAT being incredibly low, versus both of TWA's perfectly healthy.
Well, no.
Oh, actually, no, they're not. I'm sorry.
No, they're not.
They're adequate. They're adequate
right.
for the moment.
They're okay.
Death Snail Mark II coming in to see.
Yep. Des Moines moving up into the cap now. They know that destroyer is still down there. They know GRE score is still on the bottom end of the cap. Oh, spotted by planes now.
It's fun watching Flamew's cursor moving around.
That's because he's talking about something, right?
You can only wonder if he's mentioning things that we're talking about as well.
No, of course not.
Or vice versa.
TWA moving out to about 150-point lead almost as we approach the halfway mark of the match. In control here, up 2 caps. Neither team has lost ships, but ZR is not gaining points at present. Just chilling out, going nowhere.
Now this is a best of 3, right? So
this is a best of 3.
must-win
This
for
is
ZR.
yeah, this is a match game for ZR. They need this to force a game 3.
Jerry score has to get away from the C cap right now, so I don't think he's going to be able to turn back around and get back on the C cap. So TWA is about ready to go up with all 3 caps. And again, as I pointed out right at the beginning, not sending any assets to A, or just in general, not sending assets to any or to one cap. It's frowned upon.
Yeah,
I
I'd
guess
say
that's the
really,
best way to put it.
really that loss of not sending anything to A has really hurt them.
Here's a desperate move by SAT coming into B cap right now. I don't know why he's doing this. He's going to get spotted and focused and killed.
Yeah, Mikion definitely has the air control over the B cap. That is for sure.
Yep.
There it goes. There's the smoke trail.
Well, double torpedo bomber strike fixing to come in on SATs. No, they backed him off. There's a fighter over there. Carefree Tongue brings in a fighter to cover his friendly, couple fighters to cover the friendly gearing as TWA tries to recap B.
We got to remember, there's a Des Moines up there north.
Yeah, well, here's the thing, right? Like, by not sending anybody to A, they've basically ceded that position to Des Moines. Their opportunity to push him out has passed. They turned the Conqueror and the Hindenburg around. If they had continued north, they might have been able to push him out, but it's too late now.
And you can see that Hindenburg up north is going way north. Basically doing what the Moskva did last round. SAT took a big chunk.
Yep,
Yes, he
he's
did.
getting blind shot. He obviously not spotted, but that Montana Angel Stone threw some shells in from a long distance away, and you can tell if they get reset, folks, by looking up at the ticker for the capture zones, and then, you know, right there again, as you saw at the top, it just got reset yet again.
More shells coming in for SAT, and smoke as he's down to 850 hit points. They're continuing to hit him in that smoke.
Yep.
Now, if I'm TWA, I'm popping the radar now. They don't know he's low, but they know they've continued to hit him. Here come torps from the north.
Yeah, the
SAT
Grosboy.
has to react. It looks like one of these is a threat. Yep, he reverses to make the dodge.
Q initial D.
Mm-hmm. I think SAT has basically just decided that this is it, right? He's going to stick it out, and if they hit me in the smoke, well, fine. Hit me in the smoke and kill me.
Mm-hmm.
ZR kind of banking a lot on this push at B, trying to get a cap.
But the thing is, I'd like to see the supporting ships closer. I mean, get them in, get them shot at. Who cares if... Let them sit right outside of B cap so that they're not getting resets by being shot at.
Oh no, that Hindenburg might eat some torpedoes.
Dolphin Princess
here.
about to eat 3 torps. That is going to take him out.
Goodbye.
Great torps by Slaughters on TWA, making the first kill of the game as ZR falls behind over 370 points.
Zath, it's funny, you just said the support needed to be a little closer. Maybe somebody else would have spotted torpedoes, or maybe the carrier would have been able to, but that was a very nice torp drop by Slaughter right there.
I mean, if you look down at the IJ line, they've pushed the Yamato into the C cap now.
Yes.
Yes, they
Well,
have.
the Grozavoy has been holding off ZR, has been holding off SAT score.
Oh yeah, that's it.
So SAT's not spotted. Oh, he's got shells coming in. There he goes. He was spotted briefly by those torpedo bombers.
Yep, that's all they needed.
Yep, 2 ships down now. Once again, looking bleak for ZR. Almost 500 points behind here with 6.5 minutes to play. What?
I said, at least I'm coming away with something, because I guessed right. And you know what, though? At least this match, it wasn't a steamroll.
No.
It wasn't a cakewalk for TWA. They got that lucky hit on Dolphin there, or skill, whatever you want to call it. And look, they even took somebody down.
Angel Stone kicks the bucket from the fire.
Indeed.
However, Mechanos is about ready to die. I think Jagabus might...
One of the TWA Montanas is down. Now, that does shift a bit of power because ZR has still has 2 battleships on the map.
Oh,
but
look at...
Yasenpoi looking a little rough here.
There's a Des Moines on the opposite side of the island to Mechanics. Interesting. Oh no, he's gonna go down anyway.
Now the Gearing Slaughter is probably going to get this kill here. He's
Yasin
spoken
Poi
himself
holding
up.
down the points in B, but getting focused down on about 10,000 hit points. Puts out his fires, but continuing to come under fire from Grozovoy Hindenburg north of him.
Oh, GRE might get torped.
Oh, Cash, he takes a big hit from the Montana. That was over 20k, and there's also some torpedoes coming in. Might take a hit, might not.
Rudderfront's Conqueror looking like he's going to take a torp and beat. No, the torp throws out just in front of him as the Conqueror and the Hindenburg push into B to back up Yasin Poi, who's probably on his way out here.
Oh, Slaughter.
Slaughter's getting slaughtered.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
Nice.
Slaughter's
torch by
out.
GRE
There goes
there.
Yasin Poi. TWA still on a 500-point lead, 550-point lead here on Islands of Ice.
They're not. They're going down swinging.
They are, absolutely.
Kashi's
There goes
going down.
Kashimikaze.
Yeah.
I think what it really impresses me the most about this match, Sneaky, is the flexibility of this TWA team. We've seen them run
Yes.
a comp with no destroyers, and we've seen them run a comp with 2 destroyers, and thus far, assuming this game ends the way it looks like it's going to end, they've run both with high degrees of success. That is not easy. That takes a lot of skill.
Yeah, because, most teams prefer to have one, major comp set
Right.
up, be it, 4 cruisers, 5 cruisers, 2 destroyers, whatever, what have you. But yeah, TWA definitely flexing their muscles, so to speak, and showing that, hey, it doesn't matter what you bring. We can bring whatever we want, and we're still going to take control. And like Seth said, ZR did make this game a lot better, a lot closer, at least in the beginning and mid stages of the game. But TWA clearly showing that they're just one level above ZR. And I know yesterday I harped on it with ZR in that they're a really, really good team, but they've just never been able to get over that last hump and beat some, top of the line world-class talent, and it's showing here.
Yep.
For lack of a better way to put it.
Fair
I
enough.
just wanna
Rudderfront
point
going
out-
down in B.
Both streamers for the past minute and a half, while you guys were talking, had the exact same view.
That's funny.
Hey, man. What can I say?
Look at something else, guys.
There come the GGs as TWA closes within 70 points of victory here on Islands of Ice. 3 minutes to play, but the map should tick out probably before that point.
Mm-hmm.
Still surviving ZR ship in B, holding down those cap points. But GRE scores gearing now, trying to get into the bottom end of B, but it's only a matter of time now as TWA picks up C as well.
And Major read this is just coming out and saying, "Hit me,
That's right. He's had enough.
Hit me, baby, one more time.
In
Question
this.
hit me with your best shot."
Fire
Fire
away!
away.
mark?
This is
And
why we're doing this.
That's right.
Major Read, this goes down. That is a wrap, folks.
All right,
TWA
guys.
taking care of business 2-0 over ZR. Looked pretty comfortable doing it, and they win the 3rd place game.
Yeah. Interesting, carefree. A lot more fighters killed this time, but it didn't matter.
Yeah, I gotta say, Mikion, and again, I'm not the most versed in carrier gameplay at all, but Mikion definitely in those 2 games seemed like he had control. It didn't really seem like that there was too much of an impact that Carefree Tongue had. Obviously, what Zath said, he had some, a pretty good plane count for kills. However, when